Hello everybody, my name is Budley and this is going to be a tutorial on Schematica, specifically printing a cactus chunk with Schematica, because I have seen a lot of people ask how to use Schematica on the MineSaga server anyway, because they want to print a cactus chunk. And it's super simple, you guys. Super simple, and by the end of this video, you are going to be a pro at printing a cactus chunk. There's a lot of different methods to do it, and I think I've tried them all, and the best I've found on the server is the one I'm going to show you guys today. Okay, first of all, you guys want to be in Minecraft 1.12 or above, and the reason why that's important is so you can press F3 and G and get your chunk borders, which you see I've already done here, right? And once you find your chunk borders, you want to mark out your chunks, at least where you want to have farms. Because on MineSaga, anyway, it has to be inside of a chunk. One player can only load one chunk. So you want to fit this entire cactus farm inside of a chunk. And what I do then, after I turn on my chunk borders like this, I mark it out on the floor. And that way I can see where my chunk borders are without having this on. So now once you're done with that, you're going to hit F3 and G again to get rid of those grid lines. And here we have some nice marked out spots on our floor ready to go. Next thing you're going to want to do is buy some sand, cactus, and string. And you need to make a schematic. The next step is we need a pattern. A schematic is just a pattern that you create or that you get from somebody else, and Schematica can then print out that pattern for you. So I'm going to show you how to create your own pattern. Okay, first of all, it's a cactus chunk, and on a server like MineSaga, I guess I should say first of all, if you're here for a cactus farm for vanilla Minecraft, this is not the one for you. This cactus farm will not work with vanilla Minecraft. On MineSaga, they have custom hoppers that suck everything up from the entire chunk instantly. So this cactus farm fits way more cactus than you could ever do in vanilla. But the catch is, in vanilla, these would all get destroyed as they popped off because they would fall into other cactus, and it would be pretty worthless. So if you're here for vanilla Minecraft, you could still learn Schematica, but this cactus farm, this design is not going to work for you. But I'm going to go over Schematica so you could stay and learn about Schematica, but do not use this pattern. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and keep going with our cactus pattern here. So as you know, we need to leave space in between each cactus, right? We need to stagger it because they need space. If you try to put them next to each other, well, you guys know what happens, right? We put it there. We can't. It needs space. Okay. Next, we need to put our string. Okay, so we put string in between each cactus. I think most of you guys know this already, but for those who don't, this is super important. This string is what our next layer of sand is going to rest on. Okay, so we put our sand in there like so. And what we're doing right now, I know this isn't Schematica, and you're probably thinking, what the heck? I came here for Schematica. We're creating a pattern. And in 1 second here, we are going to be using Schematica. Okay. There we go. Don't forget the string. It's super, super important. Okay. So here we are going to create our first schematic. Okay. So the way we're going to do that is we are going to press the slash. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. We are going to press the asterisk key above your number pad. So press asterisk. And down here where it says save the selection as a schematic, turn that on. Okay. And now bring up your red point. And the reason why I say turn that on, if it's not on and you hit red point, you won't be able to see it. So we turn this on so we can see our points, and we're going to move this red point into place right on top of that sand. So we're going to move it that direction and that direction. And there we have it. Okay. Next, we want to get the top corner. That was the bottom. We did bottom left. So now we want to get the top rightmost corner of our selection. So we come over here. I'm sorry, I hit escape to close that menu, right? Here we were at this menu. Hit escape to close that menu. Come over here. We're going to hit the asterisk button again to bring up this GUI. And we're going to bring up the blue point. Okay. And here it is right here. Now we need to move this blue point up on top of that. So the way we do that is we hit asterisk to bring this up, and this moves it in the X, right? That's positive X, negative X. And this moves it in the Y. We need to go up a few to get up there. So we're going to get even with that cactus. And then this moves it in the Z. So that moves it that way. This moves it that way. And now if you notice, Schematica made these nice outlines up here to show you exactly what is selected. And that is exactly what we want selected. Okay, so now the way we're going to save that is we're going to come down here, and I'm going to name this tutorial cactus row. You probably just want to name it cactus row and then hit save. Okay, and it's just that easy, you guys. Now we can turn this off so we don't see that selection anymore. And next we want to load that we just saved. We just created a pattern. You guys, if you're following along, you just made your first pattern. Good job, guys. So next, we want to hit the slash button above the number pad, like so, and it's going to bring up, these are all of my schematics that I have saved, but what I want is to select this one that I just made, tutorial cactus row, and hit done. And there it is. It loaded it right there for me. Now there's a couple of useful buttons here that you should know about. First of all, hit escape to close every menu. I know I keep closing those, and so I came here, I loaded it, and then I hit escape to get out of there. Next up, we need to move this up above here. We just want to copy it up above, right? So we can hit the minus button, and that will bring up this menu, the minus button by your number pad. And we can move this around just like we did the red and the blue squares earlier, right? We could do it this way, and that's a perfectly fine way to do it. Another way you could do it is to go by where you want it, right? So I could go like say right here, hit the minus button by the number pad, and I could say move here. And then look at that, it moved it right there for me. So that's another way you can move it around. I hit the minus button again to bring up this GUI, and I want it to come over one more this direction, right? So we're gonna go that way. And I want it to go back to be even with this because I want to go on top of it, right? So I move it back, and then we're going to go up to where that is sitting right on top like that. Now these blocks aren't here, okay? This is just a visual representation that Schematica makes to show where they're going to be placed. Those are just ghost blocks. Next, we want to print these out, okay? And the way that we do that, first, I guess I should go over my printer settings. If you're using Schematica on a server, on MineSaga especially, right? You need your printer settings to be correct. So here, that is not correct. There we go. Here are my printer settings for MineSaga. Okay, destroy blocks, false. Place only adjacent, true. This is very important. I use no delay. I use a 2 placement distance. Place instantly is true, and 0 timeout. And that's all you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about anything else. And then hit done, that will save it. Done again, and escape to get out of there. Now we're ready to print. So if you're on a server, you want to buy and fill your inventory with your sand, cactus, and string, and just have it ready. And as long as it's in your inventory, Schematica will grab it out, put it in your hotbar, and place it for you. And the way we do this, we hit the minus button again over by your number pad, and we turn printer on. Now here's the catch. As soon as you get close enough to these, that 2 placement distance that we set, so as soon as we get 2 blocks away from it, it's going to start placing blocks for us. So watch, as soon as we get here, it is going to start placing it for us. Okay, so this tutorial right here is actually going to be with fly. If you have fly, this is the way to do it. If you don't have fly, I have another video in the Zero to Hero series where I gave a short overview on Schematica without fly and how you'd want to make a cactus chunk that way. So I'll leave a link to that. I'll put one up on the video right now, and I'll leave a link in the description. But this tutorial is going to be Schematica with fly. Okay, so as soon as we got close to these, Schematica automatically placed them. Now I'm in creative, so it will just automatically place them, and then I'll never run out. But on a server, that's the only thing you're going to have to keep up with, is you're going to run out of blocks so fast. You're going to have to keep stopping, buying more blocks, and printing. Now, a big tip when you're buying blocks, back away. Because as soon as you open that store, Schematica is going to go crazy and try to print stuff for you. So back away, open the store, fill your inventory, and then get back close again. So now that we've printed that, we want to move it up again. So I'm going to hit that minus key again over by the number pad, and I'm going to move it up right on top again, just like that. And then I'm going to get close, and that's another tip, another really important tip. Back away whenever you're moving it, because if you're close to it, when you try to move it, Schematica is going to print it the instant that you move it, because it's a new block in a new place, and you're going to mess up your pattern. So back away, move it. So I'm going to hit the minus key again, back away, move it up a few times. There we go. And then go back in to print more. So this is how I create my own schematic. This is how I create my pattern, or my cactus pattern. Okay. And now that I've got it kind of big, I'm going to look at what I named that. I named it Tut Cactus Row. The reason I looked at that is because I want to create a new, bigger pattern. Okay, because I'm tired of moving this so often. So the way I'm going to do that is just name the new one the exact same thing. So first thing I'm going to do is just unload that one. Wow, I don't know why that spun me around like that. Okay, so I unloaded that one. Now I'm going to create a new one. So we hit the asterisk button again, right? And let's bring up that blue point, and we're going to move it into place. So we need to come, oh, I can't see it. We got to turn it on. There we go. And we're going to move this one into place. Right there in the top corner, right? And now the red one, we want to do the very bottom corner, and it's already here. Look at that. So if it wasn't there for you, hit the asterisk button again, hit red point, and then just go ahead and move it into place just like so. So now we have this entire thing selected, right? And we're going to save that again. So hit the asterisk button once you're sure it's the way you want, and name it the exact same thing. And it will overwrite your old one. Tut Cactus Row is what I named mine. I'm going to hit save. Now, oops, I'm going to turn that off also. So let's hit off. That way we don't see that selection anymore. And then use the slash key again above your number pad and select Tut Cactus Row, or whatever you named yours, and hit done. And there we go. Look at that. We've got a much bigger pattern now, and this is going to be much easier. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fly up here, kind of like right here, I think is where I need to be. And I'm going to hit the minus key to bring up this GUI, and I'm going to hit move here. And look at that, you guys. That's such a nice feature, such an easy way to move it around, right? So that is ready to print, and now I can double what I have, right? So I'm going to hit minus again, and I'm going to turn printer back on. And as soon as I get close, it's going to start printing it out for me. And what you guys want to do is just do this all the way up. Keep going, and you could keep remaking your schematics or just keep moving this one up, whatever you want to do. But what you guys are going for is you want a schematic, you want a pattern of the cactus that goes all the way across one row, so 16 across, all the way up to 256. Sorry about that. That was Alexa. So I already have one of those made, so I'm not going to go through all the trouble to make another one. But if you guys keep doing what I've showed you and do it all the way to 256, then you'll end up with a cactus row pattern like this one. And I'm going to open that one. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Hit done. Okay, mine is actually facing this way, but that's fine. We can just rotate that like so. And That's still different. We need to rotate it again to get it to match up. And then I am going to move it back into place and over there. So here we have a schematic that goes from 0 or 1, I guess. It goes from 1 all the way up to 256. Okay, and here is the way I print it. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you could print it. You could print it layer by layer, right? You could print it all under, because Schematica has some cool features here. Let me show you. Over here where it says all, right? If I hit the minus key to bring up this menu, over here where it says all, we can change this to layers. And right now, let me move this up so you guys can see it. It's only showing the bottom layer, okay? And then we could just do it one layer at a time, right? So we could do an entire cactus chunk. Let me go ahead and load one of those. We could make a cactus chunk schematic, right? Like this. And we could do layer by layer. So we could print that layer, then the next layer, the next layer. We could print it this way. That's one way to do it, and that's totally fine. The other way is all below. This is another way to do it. So what we could do is say maybe do 2 layers at a time. We could go through and print all of this, and then the next time move it up 2, and then print that layer, and then go again and print that layer. And that's another way you could do it, and that's totally fine too. Do it whatever way you prefer. But what I found to be the fastest and the most reliable on a server is printing it row by row. Okay, and that's this way right here that I was showing you. So this is the way I do it, and this is what I found to be the fastest. And when I tell people how fast I can do it, they're always amazed. Now this is just the way that I started off doing it. I've never tried it the other way until after I did it this way. And then when I went and tried it that way, this way is so much better in my opinion. So I need to load that back up. I need to load up my cactus row. Okay. And mine is facing the wrong way. So I'm going to rotate it a few times that way and move it into place. There we go. Now here's what I do. I fill up my inventory, and my placement distance, remember, was 2. Okay. So what that means is that wherever I'm at, it can place 2 that way, 2 that way, 2 that way, 2 blocks away. So in this case, it could print this column, this column, this column, this column, and this column. It could print 5 at a time. But you really don't want to do that on a server. In my experience, it can't keep up with it. The server lag is going to give you issues. So as you're going in your printing, it's going to miss one back here. You're going to have to back down so it can replace it and fix it, and then go up, and then it's going to miss one, and you're going to have to keep backstepping like that, and it's just no fun, and it slows you way down. So what I do is and it's not worth it anyway, especially for a cactus chunk. Because let's say you printed 5 at a time, right? You could do 5 at a time, and a chunk is 16 across, right? So you're going to do 5, 5, 5. That's going to be 15, and you're still going to have to do another trip just for this one. Right? So that's 4 trips. You might as well just do 4 at a time with no issues, no slowing down, no having to backstep. Do 4 at a time, and it's still going to be 4 trips. So just make it easy on yourself, right? So what I do is I do this, and it's going to print this, 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 and one more over. It's going to do 4. And I just fly all the way up like this. And if you watch, whoops, I better turn print on. And on a server, it's actually this fast. You just fly straight up. It'll print it as you go. And it places it just this fast. On a server, it's just as fast on MineSaga as it is in Creative. And then once you get all the way to the top, then I just fall back down and go back up from the bottom again. And I do that over and over until I get all the way to the end. So there we go. That's all the way to 256 done. And then I just fall down, move over to the next one, and go right back up to the top again. Just do this over and over till you get all the way to the end. I'm going to high speed this until I get this row done. And there we have it. That's one row complete. And that is 1/16 of a chunk done, right? So that's pretty cool. That doesn't take too long at all, you guys. It's actually pretty quick. Next thing you want to do, hit the minus key again over by your number pad. And we want to move it. We want to move it this way, right? But we can't put it there because, as we know, Cactus needs to be alternating. So that won't work. So what we do, after we move it forward one, we want to rotate it twice. And there we have our alternating pattern. Now this one's ready to go. Just always remember to back off before you move it. Okay, because if you're moving it and rotating it and stuff, and your printer is on, as soon as you move it at all, your printer is going to try to print and it's going to mess stuff up. So back off, move it where it needs to be, escape out of the menu, and then just walk up again, and it'll start printing for you. And then just fly up to the top again, and just do this over and over, you guys. It's just this easy. And then once you're done with this row, you do the same thing. You move it, you rotate it twice, and you do it again. And you just do this over and over until you fill the chunk. And it's just that easy. And that is all there is to it, you guys. Good luck with all your printing. Good luck with all of your Cactus chunks. If you guys get rich from this, let me know down in the comments. If you're playing on MineSaga or any other server that I'm on, you can always throw a few dollars my way. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like. If you really like the video and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Budley Keep playing, keep having fun. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.